Amidst her grief, Betty Akanyo describes the brutality inflicted on her by Joseph Kony's LRA rebels in Agago district in northern Uganda. Betty Akanyo, who was then just 9 years old, was kidnapped in 2000 while she was picking mangoes near her home. She says that after her abduction, she was tasked with babysitting children of rebels for 1.5 years.
When we reached the LRA camps, I had to babysit their babies for 1.5 years.
Akanyo recounts that at the age of 14, when her breasts started to sprout, she was forced to have sex with a 38-year-old rebel. When she refused, she was beaten repeatedly.
When I refused to marry one of the rebel commanders, I was badly beaten. But this didn't stop him. He continuously raped me.
With time, Akanyo got used to rebel life and was forced to engage in murder acts. She recalls the day the LRA hit an IDP camp in Pajule, killing and injuring many civilians.
As time went on, killing people was fun since I was already initiated into the ungodly actions.
Acknowledging that the brutal acts were ungodly, Akanyo and 4 of her friends decided to plot to leave the rebel group.
One morning, we had to collect water, only to escape the LRA rebels. We sought refuge in the UPDF camps, where we surrendered our guns.
Even after her escape, Akanyo experienced anger management problems since she wasn't used to criticism and was still dealing with trauma of the war.
I one time wanted to kill my mother for confronting me against my behavior at home.
Through different forms of rehabilitation from civic organizations like Transcultural Socio-Psycho Organization and Trust Fund for Victims, Akanyo underwent both physical and psychological rehabilitation. Jennifer Lamwaha, a resident of Lakalanganyi village in Tumalek Parish in Laguti Sub-County in Padel District, also faced brutality from the LRA rebels. Abducted at the age of 14, Lamwak had to endure harsh punishments. During the 3 years within the bush, she was forced into a violent marriage with another 38-year-old man. This kind of torture resulted into self-hatred and trauma.
I hated myself and constantly felt like committing suicide.
As the UPDF troops launched an attack on the rebel camp, there was an exchange of gunfire. This traumatic scene forced her to escape clutches of the LRA, and as she did, a stray bullet hit her thigh. She ended up in the UPDF barrack.
The UPDF soldiers took me to their camp and treated me. This bullet was not removed.
For more than 5 years, Lamwaha stayed with a bullet in her left thigh until Trust Fund for Victims came to her rescue.
The money from the sale of my mother's goats did not help since it was too little to support my surgery at Kitgum Mission Hospital. Volunteers from the Trust Fund for Victims came and took me to Gulu Hospital for surgery. It was successful, and I'm now able to walk and jump freely.
We sought a medical perspective on how long a bullet can stay under the human flesh.
Ideally, a bullet which is in a place that is very dangerous to remove. You rather leave it there than removing it because the outcome may be more horrible. Like this one we had actually along the spine. Let me also mention this. It was just along the spine, almost near the spinal cord, but interesting, it was within the bone. You're getting it. So that one you don't risk moving it. The patient can live with it and die with it. It will always be in a pocket. You don't just be hanging there. The body holds it in one pocket, so it doesn't move from one place to another. Okay.
Lamwak is also grateful to Transcultural Socio-Psycho Organization, which has equipped her with financial literacy skills so that she could save and invest. Ssenyonga, Mulinde, NTV Weekend Edition.